Listener discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the I Should Totally Be Dead Right Now podcast, where we tell true stories of survivors of true crime, natural disasters, and everything else in between. So this week is our Halloween episode, so happy Halloween. Thank you, Michelle.
That's my scary ghost.
Happy Halloween, everyone. And this week we have a special guest, Debbie from
Debby
Alaska.
Dean.
Hello.
I hope you don't mind I use your last name, but everyone calls you Debby Dean.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's
can't
really
call-
one name.
Yeah, it is. I can't call you anything else.
I know, right?
I think I even introduced you to Joel as Debby Dean. I was like, Debby Dean, Debby Dean, Debby Dean. Anyway, sorry.
It's a good name combo.
Yeah.
There is a song about her that I still have on CD somewhere.
Oh,
The Debby Dean song.
The Debby Dean song. How did that go? It wasn't like Debby Dean or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was. Yes.
It's
a very good song. May have to let you listen. Have to listen to it someday.
I want to.
I know.
That sounds delightful.
We'll
Yeah.
find it.
Yes.
I know I have it at the house somewhere because I would never have thrown that away. That is staying with me forever.
So we are shaking things up because Michelle actually has a story.
I
this
know.
time. So I do not.
I
So-
dusted off the old notebook
Yeah.
and here we go.
So Michelle's gonna go second, and you're gonna go
Yeah.
first, Debbie.
Yes.
So. Oh wait, no. What are we drinking, Debbie?
Oh,
what
yeah.
drink did you suggest?
We are drinking a candy corn cocktail.
Ooh.
Candy corn cocktail. These were pretty tasty. So it was whipped vodka, sour mix, sweet and sour mix, pineapple juice, and then we shook all that up, and then you pour that into a glass, and then you put a little drizzle of grenadine in so it sinks to the bottom. So you have 2 layers of like an orange and then a lighter orange, and then you top the whole thing with whipped cream. So by the time you're done, it looks like a delightful candy corn.
Yes.
And we drank the shit out of them.
Yeah,
And they're quite yummy.
yeah, they're very tasty.
I think that is our 3rd shaker full. And
it our
that
3rd?
shaker was so full we couldn't even hardly fit ice in it. So
Oh,
we
okay.
have almost killed the entire bottle of whipped vodka.
It's very sweet, but
I'm
it's very good.
I'm like
it's very
spitting
tasty.
everywhere. That's how this day is going.
And they
Okay.
look wonderful.
They do
The-
look
the
wonderful.
The layers, yeah,
Like
they
the
look
layers.
great.
They're perfect for Halloween, so well done, Debbie.
Thank
And they are very drinkable, so well done again.
Yeah.
Oh,
And this will be posted before Halloween, so you can have this at your own Halloween party.
That's right.
Ooh.
Are you doing much Halloween partying this year, Caitlin? You gonna...
Well, I'm doing sober October. That's
oh
why
yeah,
we're...
that's right. So no.
No, I am.
On
no.
to Debbie.
No.
No one cares.
No, on Halloween is the day I can start drinking again.
Oh,
We're doing-
Halloween day.
Yeah, we're doing 30 days. So the 31st,
It's on.
It's
It's on
on.
like Donkey Kong.
yeah. So we recorded this all in September, so I can...
So you can have your stupid sober October.
I know, it's...
So you
okay.
can enjoy the drink. All right.
That's right. See? I can redo it. I can rehab it. Okay, anyways.
Save it. No
I
one's
know.
having it.
All right, Debbie. Paint us the picture of your story.
All right. So since I'm from Alaska, I'm gonna tell you a story, Alaskan story.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is about a hunter. November 1999 on Kodiak Island.
Kodiak Island. Okay.
Okay. 2 hunters were going hunting for deer.
So wait, where is Kodiak Island? Is that like off the coast of Alaska somewhere?
It is kind of southwest from Anchorage. I'm trying to think how many miles from Anchorage it is.
So is it on the mainland, like
No.
Alaska though? No.
No, you have to fly or take a boat to get there.
Oh geez. Okay.
So
okay.
you can't drive there.
Okay.
It's
So
it's one of the largest islands in Alaska. It's
Okay.
A pretty big, yeah, it's a pretty huge island.
I guess I never really thought about there's islands on Alaska, but now that I think about it, of course it makes complete sense because I can see the map on.
Okay.
Forget it. Yeah. See, cut. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so they are going deer hunting.
Yes. So on their hunt, they decided to split up. So the hunter, Gene, Gene Moe, and his partner, they split up. And Gene told his partner, okay, if you hear a gunshot, come find me because I got a deer.
Woohoo!
And his partner said, okay. So they go their separate ways. So
And it's just the two of them, right?
It's just the two of them.
Okay.
So Gene is he found a deer. He found a black-tailed deer, and in Alaska, Kodiak is the only island that has deer.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, we don't
Okay.
have deer on the mainland. We have moose, but yeah, there's no deer.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I find that very interesting. I would have never guessed. Okay.
So he got his deer. He shot it, killed it. He's sitting there dressing the deer, skinning it. In the process, behind him, a bear
Oh dear.
comes charging him.
Is this a Kodiak bear based on the name of the island?
Yes, it's a Kodiak bear.
Are
Yeah.
those like ginormous?
Yes, they're like grizzly. They're a type of subspecies of a grizzly bear.
Oh my
Oh.
Yeah, so they're huge. They're known. Yeah, Kodiak is known for their bears. So he's sitting here. He's sitting there dressing his deer,
Uh-huh.
and out comes a bear charging him.
Oh my god.
All he has in his hand is a knife. His rifle's about 3 feet away from him, so he couldn't get to his rifle.
Oh gosh. Because this bear is coming fast
Yes.
at him.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So the bear gets to him, attacks him. So all he can do is take the knife and try to stab the bear with his knife.
Right.
So he's stabbing the bear. He's stabbing the bear. The bear bites down on him on his shoulder, his arms, and then somehow I think he gets a knife in the bear's mouth.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god.
Aw.
I know, I'm like the poor bear.
You know,
I
he gets
imagine stabbing a bear would probably have very little impact though.
Yeah.
Because I mean there's so much skin and
I
I mean
would
maybe
know.
not, but
No, it's I wouldn't recommend it.
you would not recommend stabbing the bear.
So this bear weighed about 750 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
So just so you know, the
Whoa.
bear's huge, 750 pounds. They weigh what? Their length is about 8 feet, 6 to 8 feet. So in length. So
this is a large bear just towering over him,
Right.
but he's just sadly trying to stab him
the
with
bear.
his little dressing knife. It's probably not little, but it's not a switchblade, but I doubt it's like a chef's knife or something.
I don't know.
I like to
No,
think.
no,
Oh,
it-
do you have a picture?
I do have a picture of the knife.
Perfect.
Oh.
It is a buck knife.
I was
Oh.
gonna say, so it is kind of like
it's a
switchblade.
pocket knife that he was skinning the deer with, and this
Oh,
is what
gosh.
he had.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's a
that's
buck
not-
knife.
Is that like bear fur sticking out? Is that
I
from
think
that picture?
so. I think so.
Oh my god.
This is a knife. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, little knife.
Little
Little
knife,
bear.
big bear.
Big
Here we
bear.
go.
He's
So
stabbing.
So he's stabbing the bear. The bear releases, and then comes back at him. So he grabs a hold of him, try to do like a bulldog grizzly thing, still trying to fight,
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
rolling on around.
So does the bear like have him in a big bear hug at this point?
No, I think it's biting. No, he was trying to stab him. Yeah,
Oh, so the bear is like still just biting
Biting
him,
him.
and he's
Yeah,
just
just
stabbing
stabbing
away.
And then at one point, the bear lets go, but comes back at him, and then he says, "Come on, bear. The Lord is on my side." So he knows.
I've got Jesus with me.
So he knows he's
Good
pretty much at
luck.
this point. He knows he has to fight. He's all
Uh-huh.
bent up all over the place.
Oh,
Man.
There's
God.
nothing else. So he's like, "Okay, we're going at it."
we're going toe to toe now.
And after the stabbing, had the knife stabbing on him. So the bear comes at him, and from what I've read, Gene he knows that most bears are right-handed.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So-
that's weird.
So as the bear is trying to swap at him, he kind of ducks, and then all he can do is punch
Uh-huh.
the
the
bear.
bear in the nose,
Oh.
and then eventually the bear falls over from all the stabbings.
Oh,
I do feel like the worst person because who I'm feeling bad for
It's the
is not poor
bear.
Gene. It's the bear.
Oh.
I'm like, the bear's
Oh.
taking quite a beating.
Oh, you should see the man.
Oh,
It was really bad.
Oh,
Was it really
okay.
bad?
Yeah, it was really
Aw.
bad.
So
It
the
was-
bear finally falls.
He finally falls. It was really bad. The bear pretty much tore all his muscles out of his arm and
Oh,
leg.
gosh.
So it was yeah. it
So
was
he
bad.
was
He
tore up from
he
the
was-
floor up.
He was,
is
Yeah.
what
yeah,
you're saying.
pretty much. I kind
Oh
of have a
my
picture of
goodness,
one of
those
this-
are Oh, yikes.
Wow.
So, you know, even though he fought, the bear got,
The bear maybe got a better piece of him.
Then,
That
yeah.
is a very large scar on his arm.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I appreciate your pictures and visual aids, Debbie.
Welcome. Yeah. So there's a picture. Yeah, his arm took all them. Yeah, pulled muscle out of his arms and thighs, and so it's pretty.
So was it him punching him in the nose that really
I think.
kind of deterred the
No,
bear?
she
in the
said
end?
he like succumbed to the stabbings.
Yeah. So
after
at
a
one
while.
point,
Oh,
yeah,
I
so,
missed
yeah.
that. Okay.
It's all the
Aw.
stabbings, and that's probably where the.
I bet he was covered in blood.
Yeah. And so after, he laid down and said, "I said thank you, Lord," and laid down for a while. He didn't know how long he was there.
Oh,
So
wow.
where is his friend at this point?
His friend was nowhere in sight.
Okay.
But
he's
you
off
heard
to-
the shot, though, because
I-
he killed the deer, right? He said,
Yeah.
you hear a shot, come find me?
Yeah, so he must didn't hear the shot.
Oh.
He probably saw the whole situation and was like, ew, that looks scary. I'm just going to go back to hunting.
So,
No,
so
probably
after
not.
he woke up, he had to walk about 2 miles for help.
Oh my God.
Okay, so did he just pass out? He was just exhausted. He just needed to sleep.
Probably a little bit of both.
Both, yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Probably
I
lost
suppose.
some blood at this point.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to fall asleep.
Yeah.
That the bear was going to just come back at you.
No, that I was
and-
gonna die from blood loss.
Oh yeah, I would probably be scared of that too. I guess my muscles are all tore all about.
And it was cold, so it was November, so about 20 degrees. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
kinda cold.
So was
Okay.
it snowing yet at that
There was,
point?
I think there was snow.
So how many feet of snow do you get a year where you are?
It
A
varies.
gazillion? It seems like probably a gazillion.
Maybe not that much snow. It depends on where you live. Let's see.
Like,
Last
are you
year,
driving in snow all winter?
We do snow and ice, but it varies. It varies. We might get a feet here, and then might not snow for a few days, or we might get a couple feet, and then we might not have any more snow for a while, or it might snow every day. It varies.
Oh, thank God it doesn't snow a lot here.
That's true,
I
doesn't
don't
it?
think I would handle it well.
It varies.
So he wakes up and walks 2 miles, you said?
2 miles. He thinks that another bear was stalking him.
Oh.
Because bears have good scent.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably smelled the blood and was like, what's going on here?
Right. But he finally made it back. He made it to the Coast Guard, and they airlifted him out.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like that guy knocking on the door? Hey guys, I could use some help here. And he just tore all over the place.
And
Bite
he had,
marks.
yeah, it's just crazy. He had 7 hours of surgery,
Whoa.
2 skin grafts,
Aw.
1 month of rehab, and over 500 stitches.
Oh my gosh.
500 stitches.
That's a lot. I had like 12 right here and I thought that was a lot.
Yeah. So he had a lot. Yeah.
Dang. I'm kind of coming away with I never want to be attacked by a bear.
No,
Ever.
you don't.
Oh my gosh.
No. But they do say if a bear attacks you, you should fight. That's
Oh,
your
you
best
should
bet.
fight?
You should
Because
fight.
I've heard you should play dead. So
No.
that's not...
No, they used to. There was one time they did say that, but now they say if you're attacked by a bear, fight.
Fight him.
Your
Punch
best
him in the face.
Do whatever you can, because that's your best way for you to survive is to fight.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if you remember our trip to Crater Lake way back in the day, but
I do.
we went on this damn camping trip that was essentially just doomed from the start.
Uh-huh.
Like, the first part of it, Debbie's like, I found these hot springs in this book and we should go see it. And we're like, Amy and I were like, yeah, all right. So we end up on this like crazy small road that's like a gravel road. And we're like getting out of the car and we're like, where the fuck are we? We're like, who even knows? And I'm just like freaking out because all I can think of is Deliverance. And next thing I know, people are going to be like coming down trying to tell us we're pretty and, you know, do who knows what to us. So I'm like, get in the damn car. So we finally make it to the parking lot where these stupid hot springs are.
Uh-huh.
And we go off on this hike. And we're like, la, la, la. And we're just hiking forever and forever and forever. And we're like, the hot springs cannot be this far away.
Uh-huh.
And finally, after like how many hours of hiking? Like
maybe
2 hours, maybe?
Not even that.
2 hours.
10 minutes.
No. Are you talking? We were fucking crossing felled trees. By the end of it, I had like bloody blisters. No, it was not fucking 10 minutes. Not
Maybe it's
for
cracking
1
up in the bathroom
second.
here.
Yeah, because she knows it was
Yeah.
a long time. It was at least an hour.
No,
It was at least an hour. No, because we walked like forever away. Okay.
Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay,
30
these
minutes.
bitches don't know what the fuck is going on. So
30
we
minutes.
finally,
She says 30 minutes.
No. So, well, 30 maybe minutes out and then 30 minutes back after we decided that we were going the wrong way. And so we see this sign and it's like, trail this way, 20 miles, trail to the hot springs, 1/4 mile. And so we had just turned going the wrong way. So we decided to go back and we're like, well, we're going to go to the hot springs.
Yeah.
So again, at this point, my heels are bleeding because I wore the wrong shoes. I've got
Apparently.
bloody blisters. And I think at this point I've already fallen and I've got like scrapes and everything. And so we go up the correct trail after, I know it was a long time. It was more than a fucking half hour, both of you two. So we go up and we see this couple and I was like, oh my God, are these hot springs worth it? And they're like, no. So we finally get up to these hot springs. And there's all these old men who are rather large, just like beaching themselves next to these hot springs, completely naked. So it was like 8 old men and this one like younger boy, I don't know what. And so we dip a toe in and we fucking haul ass out. And we ended up getting lost somehow on the way back to the car. I don't know how.
We took a wrong turn. But we went to the lake. We saw a beautiful river.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we make it back to the car. We go to Crater Lake and we go to this like little lecture in the beginning. And the ranger station at they're like, and we haven't seen a bear in 40 years
Wow.
in this area.
Okay.
And we're like, well, thank God. So we put up our tent. We're camping. At the middle of the night, Debbie gets up to go to the bathroom. And she comes back and she's like, I saw a bear. And we're like, Debbie, you did not see a bear.
I saw something. I did see something out there.
She is like convinced that she's seen this bear. And we're like, you did not see a bear. It's been 40 years since they
40
last
years.
saw a bear. But you saw something.
I did see. There was something out there. There was definitely something.
I think it was probably a bush.
Totally be dead right now.
We barely made it out with our lives. No, there was
So
nothing.
funny.
No, that was a fun trip, but it had a
It was
lot
like
of
this-
craziness going on.
Well, see, I've never been to a hot springs like that before.
Yeah, and
I've never been to a hot spring.
Well, don't go.
Oh.
Because it's all nude all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A little forest creatures emerging from their nests.
Yeah. Well, Oregon has clothing is optional
That's right.
for the hot springs, so I was not aware of that at that time. Was I?
Debbie took us out on a lot of adventures,
Sounds like it. Sounds like a good time.
but she didn't see a bear. That's all I'm saying.
You don't know what she saw.
Yeah,
It wasn't a bear.
There was a bear. Bear over there. And tennis shoes. So if you ever come across a bear and
Fight.
it attacks you,
Okay.
you fight.
Well,
If you want to try to get away, slowly walk away. Make yourself look as big as you can before, and then slowly say, "Hey, bear," and slowly back away.
Hey,
bear.
But if it gets to you, you need to fight.
Just beat the shit out of it.
All right.
Oh
Well,
my
that's good to
goodness.
know. That's good to know. Not the fetal position and.
That's what I always saw. You should just play dead. So thank you, Debbie.
Yeah.
In case
That has been the newest.
that's the
Yeah,
update
survival.
with how to survive.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good to know because you never know.
Speaking of, I have a bear story. One of my coworkers was hiking with his wife, and they came across a bear, and he had the gun because he would sometimes take bear spray or some type of weapon with you.
What's in bear spray? I wonder.
like-
Bear
It's like.
Is it
tear
like
gas
mace or
like
something?
mace.
but a lot stronger.
Oh,
Very,
okay.
yeah.
Ooh, very potent.
Yes. So if you ever use bear spray, you have to be aware of the wind, direction of the wind.
So it doesn't come right back at you.
And they actually have to be pretty close to what, like 20 feet in front of you before you get around. So it'll reach, yeah.
By that I guess,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I will have forgotten that there's bear spray in my pocket. And
But if they're charging at you, you can use it. And it does work in some situations.
Okay, well,
Sometimes
that's good to
it
know.
does work, and sometimes the
So
bear don't care.
But your coworker, they had a gun with them?
Yeah, they had a gun with them, and they were with their spouse. And one day they were hiking, and there was a bear just charging. Well, running or charging. And it turns out they were running after like a moose. But they weren't aware of it, so they like started booking away from it.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
also been booking away from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so it's good. You never know what they may be after.
I think it's funny because our last Halloween episode, I told a polar bear attack story.
Was that the Halloween episode?
It was the Halloween episode.
I remember that
So
story.
that's funny.
No, you didn't. You told a story about a boy who they like
I had two
beat
stories.
up a trick-or-treater.
Because they were coming home from Halloween party.
Oh.
I had two
Oh,
stories.
okay. Now I remember.
Yes.
It's all coming back to me. I apologize for ever
That's
doubting
okay.
you, Caitlin.
That's fine. Well,
Should I get into my story?
I'm super, yeah, Michelle is kicking it paranormal.
I
this
am
time.
kicking it paranormal. I have a scary story.
All right.
All right.
Is it true or false? It's up to you.
I know.
listeners.
Well, it's like kind of going through it. I'm, of course, convinced that it is true, but I'm pretty easily convinced. Like, I saw, the Area 51 documentary, and I'm like, yeah, there's aliens in there. Absolutely. Without a doubt. So I'm already on board.
All right.
So, kind of take that how you will.
All right. Okay.
Do you believe in ghosts, Debbie?
I don't know. I'm not. I know there may be something out there that I don't completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any personal experiences with the paranormal?
No.
No? How about you, Caitlin?
I have. We should go ghost hunting. I'm just kidding.
I would rather die.
No, I do believe in ghosts. I do.
Well, you had that crazy story at your grandma's house where you always saw that old woman.
There was an old lady I always saw as a child. Yes. She was
And when
creepy.
you see him as a child, I'm sorry. I just feel like they're there.
I was like 10 though, so I wasn't like a child. I remembered that shit. Maybe I was 12.
Did it scare the crap out of you?
Yeah, I was doing a little paint by number as I did on the table, and I felt like someone was watching me, and I looked down the hallway, and there's this old lady standing in the bathroom. She didn't live there. Well, she did, but
Like, who's that lady?
And we were just staring at each other, and she walks into the bedroom, and I fucking left, and I ran the other way. And I just started freaking out. Like, there's someone in the house! There wasn't.
What did your grandma do? Because it was at your grandma's house, right?
Yeah. She's like, oh, that lady died in my bedroom.
Oh, wow.
Snap!
Oh, wow.
Why didn't you say something more scary? Oh my god.
And then I saw her again, because I thought she was my grandma, so I was following her. And then she disappeared in the kitchen. Like, I was following her into the kitchen, but there was no one there. And I turned around, and my grandma was at the computer behind me. It was weird. I mean...
You're like, wait a
I just-
minute.
Old lady.
That's weird.
It is weird.
One time when I was living at my last apartment, one night I just woke up and there was this little girl standing at the edge of my bed. And I was like, huh. And then I just went back to sleep. And that was like the end of it. I wasn't scared. I wasn't concerned. I was like, well, that's weird. I guess I'm going to go back to sleep. And that was the extent of my paranormal. It was
You could've
probably
been
nothing.
dreaming.
I probably was dreaming. So, and there's a lot of dreaming that happens in this story. So,
Ooh.
shall we jump in?
Yes,
That sounds good.
Tuck
Okay.
in, guys, because this is a rather complex and long story.
All right.
Okay.
We're ready.
I probably don't have all the details, but I think I have the highlights. So, and there's
Okay.
all kinds of videos and pictures and everything that's kind of backs up what he's saying. So,
And you said this may be turning into a movie?
yeah, they are.
Okay.
They're making this into a movie. So we'll have this. I'm going to have a little refiller on my drink. Hang on.
Yes. Let's get
Let's see. Yeah.
tucked in and...
Yeah. It's story time, guys.
Yes.
It's story time. Let's get you filled up. Okay, so this is the story of Adam Ellis. This takes place, it starts off on August 17th, 2017. Adam is a successful illustrator and writer. He has comics up on BuzzFeed and things. And actually the story that I listened to, because I've listened to like numerous variations of this story.
Yes.
And really this one guy, he did all this research into Adam's Twitter and everything just to kind of see if he's had like a background of trying to promote paranormal stuff or has other paranormal incidents in his past, and nothing. So pretty much all of this is unveiled, or I don't know if that's the right word. Anyway, on Twitter. So this is like an ongoing sort of Twitter saga, if you will.
He's like sending updates.
Yeah, so he's tweeting everything that's... So all of his pictures, all of his videos, everything is up on Twitter. Okay. So this is like a recount of all of his... in a summary of this like ongoing saga.
Right.
So this lasts over months. Okay. So on he's got his apartment in Manhattan and everything's all good and blah blah blah, like he's never had any incidents or anything. So Adam lives there.
I'm sorry, where? Manhattan?
Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Adam lives in his apartment with his 2 cats. So, all like sort of the post that starts this all off on Twitter, Adam writes, "So my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me." Oh. So I was immediately like, ding, 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 hang on, this is exciting. Okay. So Adam suffers from sleep paralysis. And so if you're not aware of what sleep paralysis, and I've actually experienced this a couple times, and I do not love it, where you're awake or you think you're awake, but you're aware of everything that's going on around you, but you can't actually move. I don't know. Have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
It happened once to me. It was terrifying.
It tends to happen to me if I take naps in the afternoon.
That's interesting.
Like, I will know what's going on around me, but I can't move. And it's very freaky.
I was on Molly. I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what?
No, I wasn't.
Dang, girl.
I wasn't, no.
We're going to come back to that story.
No, I have heard that has happened. And, my parents would say that witches riding it when it happens.
Oh my god,
that's like
goosebumps.
That's an old saying.
An old wives' tale is a witches riding you
when you can't move.
Okay, Debbie, this story just got way more scary.
And then someone has to touch you to wake you up, so you can move.
Yeah, it's freaky when you can't move, but you know what's going on, and
while you're sleeping, you can't move, and you're like,
and you see stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I remember taking naps in my living room, and it's like I'm watching the TV and I can like hear people coming into the house or like the phone ringing or something, but I can't move. I'm just completely stuck there. So it's like I'm half awake, half asleep.
Mine was, I was laying there and I was awake, I thought, and then something was crawling towards me, but I could just see it in the corner of my eye, and I couldn't scream and I couldn't move. I was just paralyzed with this thing coming at me. So it just scared oh my god, it was the scariest thing.
A witch was riding you.
Apparently at that point. Oh my god, it was so terrifying.
Yeah, that's terrifying. So yeah, it's like where you wake up and you can't move, but you can still experience visions and sounds. So one night he woke up in this state of sleep paralysis, and he sees this young boy sitting on the rocking chair at the end of his bed. He's got this like green rocking chair. And he sees him, and he can see that his head is all misshapen. Like his head has been sort of dented in on one side. So the next morning he wakes up and he like draws a picture and he posts that on Twitter. And he's like, "This is the little boy I saw in my sleep paralysis." And I think he just thought it was a dream at that point.
Yeah.
But the little boy like got up and started walking towards him, and then he woke up. He's like,
"Oh wow!"
And he woke up. He woke up screaming just as the little boy was about to crawl onto his bed.
Yeah, that's awful.
So he posted a drawing of it on Twitter and was just like, "I just experienced a super freaky thing," but that was kind of it. So a few nights later, he had another dream where he was sitting in the library and this little girl walks up to him and she says, "You've seen Dear David, haven't you? And he's dead. He only appears at midnight. You can ask him 2 questions if you say Dear David first. But never ask him a 3rd question or he'll kill you."
Wait. Who the fuck is this little girl coming up? Like,
it's just a dream he had.
Oh, it's a dream.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he has a dream. He's hanging out in the library, and this little girl comes and is like, "Oh, you've seen Dear David. He's dead. You can ask him 2 questions, but not a 3rd."
Has he seen this little girl before?
No. So this is the first time he sees her, and apparently it's the last. Spoiler. So Adam awoke completely terrified.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm already not on board with this story. Like, I was listening to it and I was like, it's too scary. It's too scary. I can't tell it. So a couple nights later, Adam wakes up again in his sleep paralysis state. And there is our little David sitting at the end of his bed in that same green rocking chair. And so he asks the boy, "Dear David, how did you die?" And he replied, "An accident in the store." He said, "Dear David, what happened in the store?" "A shelf was pushed on my head," which would explain the divot, like the big misshapen, skull that he had. So he asked, "Who pushed the shelf?"
That's
David.
the 3rd question. Oh, sorry.
Dang, Caitlin.
That's the 3rd question.
It is the 3rd question. So Dear David, of course, doesn't answer. And so he asks him again. And then he realizes that he has asked him a 3rd question and kind of is freaking out now. So now he wakes up and he's in a panic. Like, "Oh shit, I've asked Dear David too many questions." So months go on where nothing happens. But in the meantime, he does some research. He's trying to Google a David that, a shelf has been pushed on him, or, anything with children and David, and he comes up short. He can't find anything about this. So he just kind of moves on with his life and he just sort of forgets about it. So he tweets that maybe and in the meantime, he actually moves from the bottom apartment up a floor to the next apartment.
Why?
So it's a bigger apartment. It's nicer.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's an upgrade that people moved out. So he moved in.
Not because of Dear David?
No, but he's figuring that Dear David has probably lost track of him.
Okay.
And so that's why he's not worried. So shortly so he's moved in. It's now been 2 months. He's not heard anything. And then all of a sudden, he's moved into his apartment and it's been, I don't know, a week or so. And his cats start acting very strangely. So he's got his 2 cats, if you remember. And exactly at midnight, they would go to the front door and just start, they would be looking under the door. They'd be smelling around it. And it happened for 4 consecutive nights. So exactly at midnight, the cats would start going crazy at the door.
Oh, wow.
Is he awake at midnight?
Yeah. So he's just, out and about and what the fuck is going on with my cats? This is strange. It's creeping me out. But I don't think he's super weirded out. But of course he's still tweeting.
Right.
All this that's happening.
And he didn't open the door?
No, he was too scared.
Okay.
No, but he does look through the door at one point and tries to take a picture of what he saw, because he looks out the peephole and he sees this silhouette of a face looking in at him. And so he takes a picture, and from the picture, if you look at it, you can kind of see this sort of faint. You can see some eyes and a mouth, but it's all very, very faint. And it's through a peephole. I mean, so it's kind of...
suspect.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just ugh, it's too scary. So the next week after his cats have started acting out very strangely and hitting the door every night at midnight, he buys himself a Polaroid camera just to take pictures. You know how they kind of re-release Polaroids, and you can do them on those little
mini ones,
little mini pictures. Yeah. So he starts taking pictures around his house, and he takes a picture of the hallway just outside of his apartment. So, you know, there's his front door, and you open the front door, and there's a hallway that leads to the outside. And he took the picture of the hallway, and the photo would develop black. And he took another picture of the hallway, and the photo developed black.
Oh, how weird.
And he, you know, and so there's videos of him, like, where he's waiting for the photo to develop, and it just comes black and black and black. And so he decides to take a picture with his iPhone. And he takes a picture. And so he's in his living room. He sort of stepped back, and he takes a picture of the doorway. And he takes a picture, and it's just fine. You can see the hallway. You can see everything in it. But then he takes a picture, that same exact picture from the Polaroid, and everything's all lit up except for the doorway is completely black. It's so fucking creepy.
Whoa.
It's like, yeah. So he's just like, I think I'm done playing around with this Polaroid camera for the rest of my life. So he thought that was kind of weird, and of course, like, tweeted it all. And so that night, he had another nightmare. And this time, David was dragging him by the arm through this abandoned warehouse. And he wakes up the next morning to discover a giant bruise on his arm. Oh. And so he tried to dismiss it, like, I probably had the bruise and then had the dream because of this bruise. But really, is that the case? No. Dear David was dragging him through this warehouse. So the next morning, he goes to his normal breakfast spot. He's going to go, there's this, like, warehouse that has, that he goes to, like, almost every single weekend that's got, like, food trucks and kind of all these things. So he's going to go get a cup of coffee at this warehouse. And he goes to the warehouse, and the warehouse is abandoned. So the weekend before, it was bustling, it was full of business, all these people there. And now it's completely abandoned. And he goes inside because it's like, you know, a big door is open. And he goes inside, and the only thing he finds in there is a single green chair. So it's like, okay, that's weird. That's a little bit of a coincidence, but okay.
Wait, there's, like, no sign, like, out of business?
No, he can't find any explanation as to why there is no longer, like, he fully expected his coffee place to be there and everything, and it's all gone. So, and he's like, well, that's
strange.
Kind of weird. So, just after having this dream about this abandoned warehouse.
Interesting.
So, who knows? Coincidence? Maybe. Probably not.
Could be. Maybe. I mean,
so.
It's a warehouse, like.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it was food trucks, so they probably could have.
Like, bye.
Yeah, we're done here. I guess we're moving somewhere else. But who knows? Bustling one week, abandoned right after you had a dream about an abandoned warehouse. Who knows? So the next night, he started getting these strange phone calls. And it was just, what does it come up? No caller ID. You know, so no caller ID, no caller ID, no caller ID. So finally, he answers after, like, the 15th call or something. He picks it up. And he hears this breathing on the other line. Mm-hmm. And then he hears this very faint, childlike voice say, hello, like, really quiet. He hung up, and he did not pick up any other call after that.
They didn't leave a voicemail?
No, they sure didn't. Yeah, because that was probably Dear David calling. You know, anyway. So, in late August, he had started planning a trip to Japan. And so now, I mean, this is like, we're into September and things in the story, but back in August, he had already planned to do this trip to Japan. So he bought a...
This has been like a year, though, right? Because you said it started in October.
No, it started in August, and then now it's gone on for like 2 months. So he eventually goes to Japan in October. So now it's been like 3 months.
3 months, he has moved...
to the upstairs apartment.
Okay.
And has had several encounters. So the point is, in his planning this trip to Japan, he buys a motion sensitive camera so he can keep an eye on his cats. So he installs it. And
How long is this trip to Japan?
I think it's going to end up being like 2 weeks or something like that. I'm assuming he has a cat sitter because he can't have left his cats there.
Yeah.
But I think he checks in on him, but he probably has someone else come
Feed them
and feed him and do all
Hopefully.
that.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with you, Adam? No, I'm just kidding. So he gets the camera and he installs it. So that night, he gets this alert of motion. And you see it's because at this point, he has moved that green rocking chair that's been at the end of his bed out of his bedroom. He's like, fuck that chair. That's where Dear David likes to sit. We're moving that shit out. And so it's in the living room and you see the video and it's just that rocking chair, just rocking. Just a little bit, you know.
So usually have one camera in the living room?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it catches the motion of the rocking chair rocking.
Ugh.
And so he's like, that was creepy. I did not enjoy that. But okay, we're just going to keep on going. So half an hour later, he gets another alert that something else is going on. So you see on the camera, nothing. And then all of a sudden, this decoration, this like tortoise shell decoration that was on his wall just fall. And so it was up there just fine. And then it's gone behind a shelf. So
Okay.
that's all there is to it. You know, maybe it just fell. So all is quiet. But then a week later, his cats start acting hella weird again. They start acting up again at midnight and then again at like 3 a.m. And one of them, you see his cat, and again, these are all, you can find these videos like all over. You see his cat sort of just walking along and then is startled and then jumps over something and then goes back to investigate what it has just jumped over. So it's like smelling the air all around this thing that it's just jumped over. But of course there's nothing there. So the cats are just acting
Weird.
hella weird. And let's see. Oh, and then in that same video, you see this jar, this like mason jar that's on his coffee table, just kind of slide forward. Just a little bit. It's like probably moves like 6 inches, maybe total. Wow. So he's like freaking out. And then he sees his cat sort of sit up on its hind legs on the couch and is swatting the air and proceeds to swat the air for hours.
Whoa.
So it's up on its hind legs, swatting the air for like 3 hours straight.
Whoa.
And he's like...
That's a long time.
It's a long time. It's fucking weird. He's creeped out. At this point, I think he's just like so scared. He's like, I probably would have burned the apartment to the ground by now and been gone, you know, forever. So a week later, he sees a strange video. It's him walking around his apartment. It's been caught by the motion, camera. And it's him walking through his apartment, kind of shutting things down, getting everything ready for bed. And he walks past the shelf and heads into the bedroom. And then you see this, I don't know what it is. It's like this brown thing just sort of come off the shelf and fall. And he comes back in the room and he's like, what the fuck? I just heard something. I don't know what it is. And then he goes back in and goes to bed. That's the end of it. So it's just all these sort of strange videos and everything.
But it's like very subtle stuff.
Yeah.
Something falling, something scooching.
Yeah,
across the
it's
table.
nothing like so overt,
Right.
but it's just all these little
things.
And you know, for me, it's just like the cat's acting so strange. Fuck that noise.
So at this time, does he think that, oh, dear David has found me? Or
yeah, he's fully convinced that
Okay.
this is Dear David.
Okay.
He's found him in the upstairs apartment. He has, in fact, not lost track of him.
Right.
Maybe he was just biding his time and he's going to do something even more evil. Who knows? So he heads off to Japan. And he spends, I'm not sure, 2 or 3 weeks. Glorious time.
He goes back to Japan?
No, this is the trip that he's planned.
Oh, okay.
So now we're in October. He's gone to Japan. He's watching his cats. Nothing really strange has gone on. But on the last day when he's in Japan, he's doing some sightseeing. And he comes to this sculpture. And in the sculpture, it's all these people, like sort of emerging from it. The only thing I can think of, and this is such a bad analogy, is I don't know if you remember in Scrooged when Death sort of opens his chest and there's all these people like sort of screaming to get out. That's what this picture or this sculpture in Japan is like.
Oh.
And he's
scary.
taking pictures all around it, and then he comes around to the other side, and there's a little boy with a misshapen head in the sculpture.
Ooh.
And he's just like, that was probably a coincidence, but it scared the shit out of me. So that's just his last day of Japan. He heads home. And once he gets home, all sorts of new stuff starts happening.
Okay.
So the first thing that happens is the lights in the hallway burn out. It's like 2 bulbs within a couple days of each other. He doesn't really think anything of it, so he just moves on. But then he has this, like, it's a USB light that hooks into his TV. Okay. And so it, like, sort of backlights, or I guess, the back of his computer, or the back of his TV. So it just makes it, you have your TV and it just makes it kind of all lit up. So that starts flickering. So he unplugs it and it continues to flicker.
Ooh.
So there's no power going to the TV. There's no power going to this USB string of lights, but this string of lights is just flickering, flickering, and flickering. So he's already like, fuck this noise. I probably shouldn't have come back from Japan.
Yeah.
So, and then once again, the cat starts gathering at the door at midnight. Like, they had stopped for a while, but now they're back to just investigating the door every single day at midnight.
Wow.
So, and then Adam starts to have more bizarre and disturbing dreams. So he experiences just dream after dream after dream. So he invites his friend over to do a spiritual cleansing of his apartment. And so they do, I'm assuming they go through and do some sage, or I don't know what the fuck, but they did some stuff, and actually nothing happened for quite a few weeks. So he's like, this is all behind me now. Thank goodness I can relax. I'm sleeping. I'm not having any of these crazy dreams. The cats are acting normal. All is great. But unfortunately, that peace did not last long. One night, he was going into the kitchen, getting ready to grab a beer. He grabs it, and he looks out, and he notices the cats are, like, looking out the window out towards this other building. And so he, like, follows where the cats are looking, and he sees someone, like, looking right back at him into the window.
Wow.
So he, like, ducks down and, like, tries to hide. Yeah. And then he, like, gets back up and he takes a picture, and then he's, like, trying to steady and takes another picture. And you see the first picture, and there's clearly someone standing there. Like, you see what it looks like, a little boy with a misshapen head standing there. And then by the time the second picture takes, it's gone. It's gone.
Wait, this is from a different building? Like, he was standing
He was standing on the roof of the next building over. And so he's just like, yeah, I know. And so,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So he tries to take the pictures. He got one and he's like, forget it. So he tweeted at that point, but now I feel like I'm back to square one. I'm sure it was him. He's not going away. I don't know what to do. So he's just fucking at the end of his rope. So soon after, he has another dream about dear David. In his dream, David is sitting at the end of his bed. In the dream, Adam is taking pictures. So he dreams that he's taking all these pictures, and David is at the end of the bed, and then he's at the side of his bed, and then he's next to him, and then he's on top of him.
Oh my gosh.
All the time he's taking all these pictures, and this is his dream. So he wakes up, like, the next morning. Like, he wakes up, and he finally kind of comes out of it. And he, like, doesn't think anything of it, like, other than that was a super shitty dream. But then he looks on his phone and realizes that all these pictures have been taken. And sure as shit, there's a silhouette of someone at the foot of his bed, next to his bed, and then, like right here, and then, like, on top of him.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Is it like a clear photo, or is it just like a shadow?
It's like a shadow, but it's
Clearly
clearly
a person.
like a little boy with his fucking misshapen head. And I guess, like, once he got to the side of his bed, like, his eyes started rolling back into his head, and all you could see was the whites, and there's, like, pictures of all of it.
Holy
So,
cow.
he's, like, fucking done. So he wakes up in a panic. He sees that all these pictures have been taken, and he's just like, God damn it. So then all is quiet again for the next couple days.
It's like a big event, and then
it's like nothing
quiet.
for a little while, except for he has a few bad dreams.
Interesting.
And then he starts hearing all these strange noises in his apartment, up in the attic. So lots of bumps, lots of sort of dragging noises, lots of footsteps and things. And he's like, well, now I have to investigate the attic.
How does he have an attic in an apartment building?
It's like he's on there's one floor, where his first apartment was.
Yeah.
Second floor, second apartment, and then the attic is right above that.
Okay.
So, but to get to the attic, you have to go out of the apartment, and it's a crawl space that's very hard to get to.
Oh, okay.
So it's very high. So it has to be either, you can't get into it without a high ladder. So he's going to go investigate what's going on in the ladder. So there's a video of him doing this. So, and I think I showed you already. So he takes a big pole, and he just sort of gets under the crawl space, and so he lifts up the crawl space, and something falls on him. And so imagine your fucking panic when you're like,
right,
I don't want to find anything, and then this thing falls. So he goes and looks at it, and it's a little boy's old-fashioned leather shoe. So it's like essentially from the era that this dear David would be from. So he's like, God damn it. How he hasn't moved at this point is beyond me.
Well, it doesn't sound like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. It probably would follow him.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not going up there. So he sends the landlord up there. He's like, I think there's an animal living up there or something. So he goes up, and the only thing he finds a single green marble. So, but you'll notice green is kind of following us. So who knows what that means?
Green. That's interesting.
I know.
Huh.
Green marble, green chair.
That's right. So Adam is once again plagued with bad dreams. He awoke from one of those dreams. He felt like he had just missed something. So he decided to set up a camera in his bedroom. So he sets up a camera that's set to take a picture every minute for the entire night. And so the next morning he wakes up and is going through them, and it's just nothing but him sleeping. And so he's just like, oh, thank God it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then he comes across a series of photos where it's a little boy on the chair at the end of it, and then the little boy is looking right at David, and then the little boy sort of sits down, and then he's like, he disappears, like he sort of slunks down off of the chair, maybe onto the ground. And then it's just pictures of him sleeping. And then all of a sudden there's a picture of this little boy right next to the bed. And then there's a picture of him right on top of him, looking down at David while standing on top of him. And then the last picture is him looking directly at the camera. And
no.
That is where we are with the saga.
Really?
At this point.
Really? That's how it ends?
That is how it ends. At this point. We'll see. There's probably more because it's an ongoing saga.
All right. So you can follow him on Twitter?
Yeah, you can. He's been writing all this out on Twitter. There's a shit ton of videos. I guess it went totally viral. No, but there's pictures of all of this. There's videos of all of it. Of his cats acting crazy. We should maybe take a quick peeker out of it.
Yeah. Well.
And
Yeah, we'll
I
look
know.
at pictures right now.
Maybe I'll do a little bit more research, see if there's more to it, and we can do a part 2 down the road.
That's
creepy. Like,
it is creepy as fuck.
I don't think I could sleep by myself after seeing a little boy on top of me. Well, a little boy, like, I don't know, just near me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So this is like a thing that has been going on. I think it's been going on for like a year or 2 years now at this point.
Wow. Like,
My
I don't know what I
understanding
would
is
do.
still going on. Yeah, I would move. I don't know what I would do.
I would get rid of that green chair. I would get anything that's green. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a
Right.
connection somewhere.
Yeah, because if you think about it, that's what fell off the wall was that tortoise shell, and that was all green also. So maybe there is something to do with green.
That's so weird.
Oh, there was another time where he went back to the warehouse. I
Uh-huh.
think he was going to go look around, and the only thing he found was a hearse parked.
Oh.
Why would he go back to the warehouse?
Well,
Yeah.
I think I forget why. There was some reason to it, and he was just passing by, because it was near his house. It was like
Right.
2 blocks away, and he was passing by, and it was open. So he was like, "Well, I'm just gonna go inside and see what's going on," and there was this hearse parked there. So
No one inside of it?
no one inside, no one around.
Ew.
It just was like all abandoned looking, and
I couldn't.
yeah,
I couldn't. Dang.
no,
well,
it's freaking freaky.
well, that was a good story, Michelle. And we'll
So-
get all that,
So he still
Yes.
survived at this point.
Oh, that's good.
At this point.
part 1 he does.
I know. Well, he did ask that third question. So
He did.
Yeah. Moral of the story: only ask Dear David 2 questions.
I wonder
Don't-
why. Does he have, like, short patience?
Apparently,
Aw.
little boy who's like 7 who's like, "Fuck this guy. I'm done with him."
But he was dreaming that though.
He
Well,
was dreaming it,
yeah.
but he was dreaming a lot of things that ended up kind of being the case.
Ugh.
Oh.
Spooky. Well, that was a good story. Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for coming on.
Well,
And we
thank
didn't
you.
even say how we know Debbie Dean.
Oh gosh. Well, we worked together forever.
Yep, you did.
Forever ago, and she's down for a little reunion trip, so
Yes.
Yes.
it's all very exciting. We're super happy to have you
I-
back in
yes.
Oregon.
It's so good to see you guys.
Aw,
This is
yes.
really yes.
Do you ever think about moving back, or you're like, never?
No, I think I'm good.
You're good?
Alaska.
Good.
But I do like
Yeah.
coming to visit,
Yeah.
and
I remember playing softball with Debbie. That was fun.
yeah, I do miss playing softball.
Yeah.
We did not have a great softball team, if
Not
I
in the-
recall.
Not in the beginning,
Not in the first 5 years.
but
We got better after that.
we did. We did. We did. We got. We did. We won a couple games.
I got 1 home run, and that was it. I was
Yeah.
out.
That's all you need. Well,
That was the worst day of my life.
well, again, thank you, Debbie. That was a great story
That
from
was
your
great.
home state.
And thank you for the great drinks that
Oh,
you
you're
Yeah.
welcome. You're
I
They're
drank
really
the shit out of
tasty.
these.
Yeah, they're really good.
I think I've had like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think
At
you
least.
have. Yeah.
Plus a couple of the shots of that goddamn Irish cream. Oh, I love you.
The ice cream is really good.
Isn't it? Oh,
we
that-
chilled it this time.
Yeah, and it was, I think,
it's
even more
better.
delicious
Yeah.
if that was possible.
But all right, well, we hope you have a safe and fun Halloween. And ooh.
That's my spooky.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you, Debbie.
You don't need to show me up that you can be spookier than I am, Debbie.
All right, well, if you'd like to follow us, we're on Facebook and Instagram at I Should Totally Be Dead Right Now. And if you have your own survival story, you can email us at ishouldtotallybedeadrightnow@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the podcast. Well, thank you again, and we'll see you next time. All right,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Debbie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Debby Dean.
goodbye.
Debby Dean.
Goodbye.
I don't think that's how the song goes. but I
No,
felt-
it's not.
I
That's
tried.
okay. It's close.